There is a level of power so extreme that it does not live on land anymore. It moves across the ocean in total silence. It carries entire kingdoms on water. And most people will never even see it. Tonight, you are stepping inside the world of the most extravagant super yachts ever built. But one of them may not even exist, and that mystery changes everything. The global market for mega yachts has never been stronger. Shipyards are fully booked years in advance. Billionaires compete quietly for construction slots that cost more than most private jets. And while the world debates wealth and inequality, something remarkable is happening behind the scenes. These floating palaces employ thousands of skilled craftsmen, engineers, designers, artisans. Entire industrial ecosystems are powered by the demand for extreme luxury. A mega yacht is not simply a boat. It is a moving symbol of status. It is architecture in motion. It is diplomacy. It is influence. It is sometimes even protection. Lengths range from nearly 80 feet to well beyond 500 feet. Crews can exceed 100 professionals. And budgets regularly cross into the hundreds of millions. But today we go further than that. We are not just counting price tags. We are exploring what these vessels reveal about power itself. About ambition, about legacy, and about something even more unexpected that will be revealed before the end. Before we go deeper into this world of floating empires, take a moment. If you are fascinated by how wealth shapes our world, if you are curious about the architecture of influence, then subscribe and activate the notification bell. Your support strengthens this channel's mission to explore the hidden structures behind extreme luxury and global power. And do not forget to check the link in the description for our ongoing giveaway, because access to this world begins with curiosity. Now let us begin with a yacht that once dominated the seas. The yacht known as Dubai was originally commissioned in the mid-1990s. Its construction passed through multiple hands before completion. Eventually, it became the pride of a modern ruler. Stretching over 500 feet in length, the scale alone commands attention. 8 expansive decks rise above the waterline like a floating fortress. On board, there is a massive swimming pool that stretches across the deck like a private lagoon. There is a squash court suspended above the ocean, a cinema, a disco hall, even a lobster tank designed for live seafood service. But what makes Dubai more than just extravagant features is the symbolism. It represented a turning point when Middle Eastern royal families began reshaping the super yacht market. The yacht can host over 100 guests and nearly 90 crew members. It moves across the water at over 20 knots, powered by massive diesel engines. It is not simply transportation, it is projection. Yet Dubai, impressive as it is, would eventually be surpassed. Because ambition rarely rests, and somewhere else another ruler wanted something even greater. That brings us to a Plus, previously known as Topaz. Owned by a member of a ruling royal family and major investor in global sport, this vessel pushes scale and discretion simultaneously. At nearly 500 feet long, it houses double helicopter pads, a fitness hall, conference rooms, underwater lighting systems that transform the ocean into a glowing stage at night. Twin engines generate extraordinary horsepower. The yacht cruises comfortably above 20 knots despite its enormous mass. It is a statement of quiet authority. A vessel designed not only for leisure, but for influence. But here is where the tension begins to rise. Because size alone would no longer define supremacy. Speed would enter the equation, and that would change the hierarchy of the sea. Coming next is a yacht that shattered expectations. A vessel so vast and so powerful that it redefined engineering benchmarks, and its annual maintenance costs alone could fund entire companies. Prepare to meet Azam. The name Azam translates to determination, and that word defines this vessel perfectly. Measuring close to 600 feet in length, it once held the title of the largest private yacht ever constructed. But scale alone does not explain its dominance. Azam is powered by a hybrid combination of gas turbines and diesel engines generating nearly 47,000 horsepower. That force propels this immense structure to speeds above 30 knots. For a vessel of this size, that velocity is extraordinary. It is the maritime equivalent of a skyscraper that can sprint. Inside, more than 50 guest suites are arranged across multiple decks. A master suite designed for royalty anchors the layout. Helipads extend from the foredeck. Glass walls flood interior halls with natural light. And despite its scale, the yacht was completed in just 3 years, an engineering achievement that stunned the industry. But speed and size create visibility, and visibility creates risk, which leads us to a yacht designed not only for luxury but for protection. Enter Eclipse. At over 500 feet long, Eclipse was once the undisputed giant of the sea. Its construction involved one of the most respected shipbuilding companies in the world. The vessel cost approximately $1.5 billion, making its price tag one of the highest ever recorded. Yet what made Eclipse remarkable was not only its cost, but the scale of its engineering ambition. Eclipse carries a private submarine capable of descending dozens of meters below the surface. It includes advanced missile detection systems inspired by military vessels. It also features an anti-paparazzi laser system designed to disrupt digital photography. Infrared sensors detect camera lenses and flood them with bright counterlight. On board are multiple pools designed for privacy and comfort. 2 large helipads accommodate private arrivals from the sky. 24 elegant guest cabins provide space for selected visitors. Expansive spas offer relaxation within a controlled environment. A private disco hall transforms the yacht into a floating entertainment venue. And layered security systems operate quietly behind the scenes. This yacht blurs the line between leisure and defense technology. It represents a fusion of lifestyle and strategic protection. Everything about Eclipse is documented, measured, and physically built. But the next yacht shifts the focus entirely toward mystery. It is smaller in physical scale than the giants we have explored. It is slower in measured speed performance. It lacks the overwhelming dimensions of the largest vessels at sea. Yet it allegedly costs more than all of them combined, according to various media reports. And some observers believe it may not exist at all. Welcome to the mystery of History Supreme. The story of History Supreme begins with global headlines, not engineering blueprints. Announced in the early 2010 decade by a luxury designer, this yacht was said to cost nearly $5 billion. If accurate, that valuation would surpass every other super yacht record ever published. Unlike the towering vessels discussed earlier, History Supreme measures only around 100 feet. It does not dominate through scale, but through claimed precious materials. Reports describe surfaces layered in solid gold and platinum. Walls allegedly incorporate rare meteoric stone. One decorative sculpture is said to contain genuine dinosaur bone. These details elevate the narrative toward a form of luxury mythology. However, there is limited photographic evidence available publicly. No confirmed port registry records have been widely verified. Independent maritime databases provide no clear confirmation. This absence of documentation fuels ongoing speculation. Some analysts argue that plating such a vessel in precious metals would be technically impractical. Others suggest that extreme wealth often values discretion over publicity exposure. In this case, the absence of evidence becomes part of the overall mystique. And that mystique may represent the most powerful form of luxury. In a world focused on measurable ranking, ambiguity can become a form of prestige. If something cannot be verified, it cannot easily be challenged. It instead evolves into legend. When we examine the broader landscape, a pattern emerges across modern superyacht design. Dubai symbolized expansion and architectural ambition. Plus demonstrated strategic influence at sea. Azam embodied raw speed and engineering dominance. Eclipse introduced advanced defensive capability. History Supreme introduced narrative power and global fascination. Together, these vessels reveal that super yachts function as statements of ideology. They reflect security concerns and competitive ambition. They showcase technological innovation and industrial capability. They also occasionally amplify myth and symbolic storytelling. Critics argue that such extravagance represents vanity. Supporters counter that large-scale yacht construction sustains thousands of maritime jobs. Major shipyards operate continuously during these complex builds. Traditional craftsmanship and specialized engineering advance with each new commission. At this level, luxury becomes an economic ecosystem. It funds research and supports maritime industries. It pushes engineering boundaries into new territory. Beyond aesthetics, every superyacht ultimately represents mobility, not only across oceans but across global influence networks. Deals are negotiated on private decks away from public visibility. Diplomatic conversations unfold within secured floating environments. Privacy enables strategic thinking. And this may explain why these vessels continue to increase in ambition. Because power prefers movement. Power prefers discretion. Power prefers controlled environments. As long as extreme wealth exists, the pursuit of the most extraordinary floating palace will continue. New hulls are already under construction in elite shipyards. New performance records will eventually be broken. New stories and mysteries will emerge. Perhaps one day another vessel will redefine the boundaries of the possible. Now consider a final question. If you had $10 billion, would you commission a private superyacht? Or would you build something entirely different? Share your perspective in the comments. If this exploration of extreme luxury expanded your view, leave a like to support the channel. Because the deeper we explore these environments, the clearer we understand how power operates. And this journey is only the beginning.